Hello, welcome to Post Colonial Space. I'm Masood Raja, and today I'll be talking about a slightly different topic, and this is related to my future plans. And just to be very clear, this is not something that I want to do immediately, and certainly not while I am employed by my current employer. This is something that I have been thinking about, and I think I've now finally kind of honed in on something that I can retrain myself for the future, a year or 2 years down the road. So lately, I talked to a friend, and I was talking to her about the possibilities of me trying to do something other than working for a university. And she really knows me well, and she knows what my strengths are and what my weakness is. And she's also trained as a life coach. And she suggested to me to look into eventually down the road becoming a life coach. And I had never really even thought about it, but then I went and did some research and found out that people hire or request life coaches for various things, just to manage their time better, just to write better, just to learn something new. All of these things are that the life coaches do. And I realized maybe that could be one possible thing that I could train myself to do, to become a life coach. Hence the topic of this post. And so then I did some further research, and I learned that in order to be an effective life coach, of course, you need to have some expertise and some life experiences and a kind of personality that enjoys helping other people. And all of these things, in one way or the other, I think I do have. But most important thing that I thought was to actually get some training and have a credential where I can say officially that I'm a trained life coach, a certified life coach. So I did some research and looked at different programs. They range from being some very expensive and elaborate to some where you can get your certificate in 3 days. So after my research and after looking at the International Federation of Coaches, the IFC website, after looking at their accredited programs, I finally signed up with one virtual program. Now, this program is a 12-week program, and the classes meet live once a week for 2 hours each. And in 12 weeks, if you learn the materials and if you do well on their exam, you get a certificate that you are a trained life coach. So that's the process that I've started. Bear in mind, this is not something that I will do or can do while I'm still employed with my current employer. This is something that I would like to do eventually if my wife and I decide to retire or leave our formal jobs. Now, the reason I'm sharing with you is because, you all have been a part of my life. You have given me your support. You have subscribed to this channel. And part of the reason you come here is that you know that the things that I offer, educational, cultural, motivational, and sometimes political, maybe have some value for you. And maybe you yourself are thinking of becoming a life coach. And so that's why I'm sharing this experience, and I will continue doing so as I train myself. But I think what would help me the most from you is if you were to take a few moments and comment and let me know if you think this could be a right strategy for me, if you think this could be a right career for me. Now, what I'm planning to focus on are like certain specific kinds of life coaching activities. I think I can use my experience in the US Academy to offer coaching sessions, let's say, to people who are applying to American colleges and universities, both at graduate and undergraduate level. And then I could develop it into a package where I work with them from narrowing down where to apply to working on their application materials, and then all the way to the process of their visa interview as international students. That could be one package that I could develop. Another one I was thinking was to develop a life coaching package for those people who might be professionals but are also trying to take some classes to learn something new or to get a degree, because I have some experience with that. And another one could be simply time management training, especially for those who are writing their dissertations or theses, someone to guide them as to how to arrange it, how to organize it. These are some of the things that I think I could develop based on my experience in academia. Now, as a lot of you are familiar, I also served in the Pakistan Army. And so I have this idea of how to manage time, how to meet deadlines, how to think critically and evaluate things. And maybe one package could be sort of a loose leadership package for entrepreneurs or anyone else who wants to learn to use their talent and their time effectively. These are some of the areas that I've thought I could use my current expertise with the knowledge that I will gain from this course on life coaching, and then eventually develop something out of that. Now, of course, it goes without saying that I would love to also develop programs that are spiritual and motivational, where we talk about how to get over different kinds of troubles in life, how to cope with them, how to cope with racism, how to cope with sexism, how to cope with these kind of socio-cultural pressures, which would of course be based in my own experience, but also based in my training. So these are some of the thoughts that I have as I embark on this journey of learning. Remember, I'm not doing it immediately. I cannot do it immediately, but I have time. And I think if this course goes well and if I learn some usable skills, I would eventually like to, after I leave this job, develop some kind of a business model where I can offer these services to people from all over the world. And when it happens, I would seek your help and advice in putting the word out and in making sure that people can benefit from these. Now, it goes without saying that whatever I offer in terms of educational materials on this channel obviously will continue to grow and will always be free. Okay, this is not going to become like, okay, give me $50 and I'll give you 2 lectures on post-colonialism. No. But it's going to be something related to my experience as a human being, as a scholar, as a professor, as a former soldier, as someone who has worked with international students, as someone who came to United States as an international student. All of these experiences eventually, if I decide to register myself as a life coach and start a small business based on that, these things would figure prominently into the offerings that I would like to develop. So I thought, at least I should share these thoughts with you and use your collective mind to guide myself better and to develop this future plan with your input as a more effective way of making a living, but also delivering something useful to as many people as possible. So that's all. Please let me know what you think. Any ideas and suggestions are welcome. And I hope you all are taking care of yourself. I hope you're doing well. please continue to do so. And I will now see you next time. Until then, as always, peace and love.